deep in the murky depths of the ocean, where sunlight could barely penetrate, a woman named Emily found herself in a treacherous situation. She had been shipwrecked during a violent storm and was now stranded, fighting for her very survival. The water was frigid, and eerie shadows danced around her as she desperately searched for any sign of land. As Emily treaded water, her heart raced with fear. Her body trembled from the cold, and she could feel the seaweed wrapping around her limbs, as if it had a wicked agenda of its own. She knew she needed to find solid ground soon, or else she would succumb to the merciless grip of the ocean. Suddenly, out of the corner of her eye, Emily caught a glimpse of a massive silhouette moving silently through the water. Her heart skipped a beat, and she froze in absolute terror. The creature was monstrous, with eyes like dark pits and razor-sharp teeth that glinted in the dim light. Emily's mind raced, trying to comprehend the lethal reality she found herself in. She knew she had to keep moving if she wanted to survive, but her muscles were tired and her body felt heavy. With each stroke, the seaweed seemed to grow thicker, making it harder for her to break free. The creature circled around Emily, its form weaving in and out of the shadows. It was like a nightmare come to life, a deep-sea monster with the intent to kill. Emily's survival instincts kicked in, and she summoned every ounce of strength left within her to kick and paddle away. The struggle continued for what felt like an eternity. Emily's body screamed in exhaustion, but she refused to give up. She had come too far and faced too many obstacles to let herself become a meal for some underwater horror. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Emily's fingers brushed against something solid. Rocks. She had found the edge of an underwater cliff, a precipice that led to potential salvation. Summoning her last reserves of energy, Emily clawed her way onto the rocky ledge, gasping for air as the creature loomed just below the surface. Safe for the moment, Emily hugged the cliffside, panting heavily. She took a moment to survey her surroundings, hoping to find any sign of a possible escape. It was then that she noticed a faint glow emanating from behind a dense cluster of seaweed. Intrigued and desperate for any form of assistance, Emily began to crawl towards the glow. The seaweed tangled around her limbs, making each movement agonizingly slow. It felt as if the ocean itself was trying to keep her captive, to drag her back into its inky abyss. As she got closer, Emily's eyes widened in astonishment. The glow was coming from a hidden underwater cave, hidden beneath the thickest layer of seaweed she had ever seen. There was a glimmer of hope within her, urging her to press on and see what lay inside. Summoning her remaining strength, Emily pushed through the seaweed and made her way into the cave. The glow intensified, illuminating the damp walls. She cautiously ventured further, her heart pounding with a mixture of anticipation and fear. Finally, she reached the source of the glow. It was a luminescent sea creature, floating peacefully in a small pool of water. The creature resembled a delicate jellyfish, its tentacles gently pulsating with a mesmerizing light. It seemed oddly benign, in stark contrast to the monster that had pursued her. As Emily stared at the creature, the words of an old tale echoed in her mind. Legend spoke of a benevolent sea creature known as the Guardian of the Depths, said to help lost souls find their way back to the surface. Tentatively, Emily reached out a trembling hand toward the creature. The moment her fingertips made contact, she felt a surge of warmth radiate through her body. It was a gentle, soothing energy that relieved her exhaustion and gave her a glimmer of hope. The Guardian of the Depths guided Emily to a hidden passageway within the cave, a secret tunnel that led to the surface. With each step, the seaweed seemed to part and retreat, as if afraid of the creature's power. Emily trusted the Guardian to lead her to safety, relying on its ancient wisdom to navigate the treacherous depths. As she ascended through the tunnel, Emily felt a rush of anticipation building within her. She had faced the monster and survived. She had found an unlikely ally in the Guardian of the Depths. And now, she was inching closer to the surface, to the possibility of seeing land once more. Finally, with a gasp of relief, Emily burst forth from the water's surface. The salty air filled her lungs, and the warmth of the sun embraced her like an old friend. She had made it. She had emerged from the clutches of the deep, ready to begin her journey back to civilization. But as Emily scanned the horizon, her heart sank. There was no sign of any passing ships or even a distant island in sight. She was adrift in the vastness of the ocean, a tiny speck in an unforgiving sea. Determined not to lose hope, Emily devised a plan. She would gather debris from her shipwreck and construct a small raft, hoping that it would be enough to carry her to safety. With newfound determination, she swam back underwater, determined to retrieve anything that could aid her in her newfound quest. Hours turned into days, as Emily tirelessly gathered wreckage and fashioned it into a makeshift raft. Yet, her progress was slow, hindered by her weakened state and the constant fear of encountering another monstrous creature lurking in the depths. Just as her hope began to waver, Emily noticed a peculiar object floating not too far away. As she approached, she realized it was a wooden crate, bobbing on the surface of the water. A surge of excitement coursed through her. Perhaps it held something useful for her survival. With her remaining strength, Emily hoisted the crate onto her raft and eagerly opened it. What she found inside left her bewildered and intrigued. It was a collection of old, weathered books, their pages curling at the edges. Among them was a tattered journal, filled with faded ink and intriguing illustrations. Curiosity getting the better of her, Emily flipped through the pages of the journal. It seemed to belong to a sailor, chronicling tales of lost treasures and unimaginable adventures. In the midst of the entries, a faded map caught her eye. The map depicted a desolate island, marked with an X symbol, and a handwritten note read, "Where hope lies amidst the darkness." Emily couldn't help but wonder if this island was her salvation, her ticket to survival. With newfound determination, Emily steered her raft in the direction of the mysterious island, clutching the map to her chest. She knew the journey would be perilous, but she was willing to gamble her life on the chance of finding land and, hopefully, civilization. Days turned into weeks as Emily pushed through the vast expanse of the ocean. Each night, she would study the stars, desperate to navigate her way to the promised island. The journey took a toll on her mind and body, but she clung to the hope that lay within the faded ink of the journal. Finally, one fateful night, Emily spotted a faint glimmer on the horizon. It was a speck of light, barely visible against the darkness of the sky. A surge of adrenaline pulsed through her veins, and she steered her raft toward the distant illumination. As she drew closer, the glimmer gradually transformed into a cluster of twinkling lights. It was an island, a beacon of hope amidst the vast unknown. Emily's heart filled with relief and exultation. She had finally found land, just as the journal had promised. Weary but elated, Emily stepped onto the shore of the island. It was a desolate place, covered in dense foliage and shrouded in an eerie silence. Yet, there was an undeniable energy to the island, as if it held secrets waiting to be uncovered. Determined to explore her newfound sanctuary, Emily ventured deeper into the heart of the island. She navigated through thick undergrowth, her senses heightened, acutely aware of the unknown dangers that might lie in wait. As she made her way through the dense vegetation, Emily stumbled upon an ancient stone structure, moss-covered and weather-worn. It stood as a testament to the island's mysterious past, sparking her curiosity and igniting a sense of adventure. With careful steps, Emily entered the structure, her eyes widening with awe. The interior was dimly lit, with rays of sunlight trickling through cracks in the stone. The air was heavy with the scent of ancient decay, and Emily couldn't shake the feeling that she had stumbled upon something far greater than she had ever imagined. As Emily explored the depths of the stone structure, she came across a faded tapestry hanging on the wall. Intricate patterns depicted a monstrous creature, eerily similar to the one that had pursued her in the depths of the ocean. It seemed as if the island had a dark secret to tell, a story waiting to be unraveled. Staring at the tapestry, Emily felt a chill run down her spine. The creature in the illustration matched the description of the monstrous beast she had encountered. It was a disconcerting realization, but it also fueled her determination to uncover the truth behind the island's mysteries. Guided by her instincts, Emily continued delving deeper into the structure, searching for answers hidden within its ancient walls. The air grew colder, and a soft whispering sound echoed through the chamber, as if the island itself was attempting to communicate. Moving further into the depths of the structure, Emily stumbled upon a hidden room. The air was suffused with an otherworldly energy, and a sense of foreboding settled over her. She knew that whatever waited beyond the threshold held the key to the island's secrets. Heart pounding in her chest, Emily pushed open the heavy door and stepped into the chamber. It was illuminated by a dim, flickering light, casting eerie shadows on the walls. At the center of the room stood an ancient pedestal, adorned with symbols and carvings. As she approached the pedestal, Emily felt a pull, an inexplicable connection. She knew in her bones that the island had brought her here for a reason, that she would finally uncover the depths of its dark secret. Taking a deep breath, Emily reached out and touched the symbols on the pedestal. In an instant, an ethereal glow enveloped her, transporting her to a different realm altogether. She found herself standing in a vast underwater cavern, surrounded by a haunting glow that illuminated the depths. The monstrous creature from Emily's nightmares appeared before her, its grotesque features magnified in the ethereal light. But instead of fear, Emily felt a strange calmness wash over her. She could sense the creature's power, its role as guardian of the island. The creature's dark eyes locked with Emily's as if it could see into her very soul. It didn't view her as prey, but rather as a challenger worthy of its attention. In that moment, Emily understood that this was a test of wills, a struggle to appease the protector of the island. Summoning her courage, Emily held her ground, refusing to back down. The creature seemed to respect her determination and reluctantly flicked its tail, clearing a path through the underwater caverns. It was offering her a chance to bypass its territory and move closer to the island's core. Emily followed the creature's lead, swimming through the maze-like tunnels with a renewed sense of purpose. The darkness enveloped her, but she pressed on, knowing that the answers she sought were within reach. As she ventured deeper into the caverns, Emily began to notice peculiar artifacts scattered along the seabed. They were remnants of a forgotten civilization, echoing tales of a thriving society that once existed on the island. Each discovery brought her closer to understanding the true nature of the island's allure and the origins of the monstrous creature. The deeper Emily went, the more she uncovered. She realized that the island was a place of convergence, where the boundaries between land and sea merged. It was a realm beyond comprehension, where the monstrous and the beautiful coexisted. Finally, Emily reached a chamber marked by an eerie silence, in stark contrast to the thrumming energy of the rest of the underwater cavern. It was here that the true depths of the island's secrets lay, waiting to be revealed. The chamber was adorned with ancient hieroglyphics and mysterious markings, depicting a tumultuous history. It revealed the stories of a forgotten race, a civilization that had thrived under the ocean's surface but was ultimately consumed by the darkness. As Emily deciphered the ancient texts, a realization washed over her. The monstrous creature she encountered was not the antagonist, but rather the guardian of the island, appointed to protect the fading legacy of a once great civilization. The monster's origins became clear. It was born out of a desperate desire to preserve what remained of the island's forgotten glory. It was a tragedy, a creature forced to exist in the dark depths, its external appearance a reflection of the darkness that consumed the land. Empathy welled within Emily, and she understood that she had a role to play in this elaborate dance of fate. She would become the echoes of the monster's longing, bridging the gap between the forgotten past and the potential future. Determined to fulfill her newfound purpose, Emily left the underwater chamber and ascended to the surface. She found herself standing at the edge of the island, a place where the monstrous and the beautiful coalesced. The land and the sea were tightly interwoven, a testament to the island's enigmatic essence. Emily's presence seemed to awaken a dormant magic within the island. Plants and creatures that had dwindled in the darkness began to thrive, reclaiming their rightful place. The island came alive, bursting with vibrant colors and an ethereal radiance. Word of Emily's arrival on the island spread, summoning curious souls from near and far. They sought answers to their own questions, hoping to find redemption or solace within the island's depths. They saw Emily as a beacon of hope, a living embodiment of the island's transformation. With each passing day, the island grew in prominence, its legend spreading across the seas. Emily became not just a survivor but a savior, a symbol of resilience in the face of unimaginable adversity. As months turned into years, the island thrived under Emily's care. She nurtured the delicate balance between the land and the sea, ensuring that the monstrous creature's legacy lived on but also allowing new life to flourish. The island became a sanctuary for wayward souls, a place where they could find solace and a chance at redemption. Emily's boundless love for the island knew no limits. She wandered its lush forests, tending to the flora and fauna that called it home. She listened to the whispers of the wind, carrying the island's secrets into her very soul. It was during one of these solitary walks that Emily stumbled upon something unexpected, a message in a bottle, washed ashore by the ocean's unpredictable currents. Curiosity piqued. She uncorked the bottle and extracted a delicate piece of parchment. The message was written by a young sailor named Samuel, who had been lost at sea during a violent storm. He spoke of his unwavering desire to find land, to see the light of day once more. It was a heartfelt plea, filled with desperation and hope. Emily felt an inexplicable connection to Samuel's words. She understood his yearning, having traversed the same treacherous waters herself. With a newfound purpose, she vowed to find Samuel and help him find his way to the island, just as she had been guided all those years ago. Armed with determination and the island's innate power, Emily set sail on a small boat, braving the tumultuous waters that had once threatened to consume her. She scanned the horizon, hoping to catch a glimpse of Samuel's distressed vessel. Days turned into weeks, and just as Emily's hope began to waver, she spotted a solitary ship adrift in the distance. With a mix of relief and anticipation, she steered her boat towards the vessel, hoping against hope that Samuel was still alive. As she drew closer, it became evident that the ship had seen better days. Its sails were tattered, and the wood was weathered, bearing the scars of a fierce battle against the unforgiving sea. But Emily was not deterred. She had faced challenges far greater than a dilapidated ship. When Emily boarded the distressed vessel, she was met with an eerie silence. The ship seemed abandoned, devoid of any signs of life. Her heart sank, but she refused to give up. She knew that Samuel's survival hinged on her determination to find him. As she pressed on, Emily began to uncover clues. Whispers of Samuel's presence scattered throughout the ship, a hastily written note, a forgotten piece of clothing. Each discovery fueled her determination, driving her further into the ship's labyrinthine depths. Finally, in the darkest corner of the ship, Emily stumbled upon a hidden compartment. It was there that she found Samuel, battered and bruised but miraculously alive. Relief washed over her as she helped him to his feet, knowing that her mission was a success. Samuel, disoriented and grateful, listened intently as Emily explained their current predicament. She shared the story of the island, its transformative power, and its potential to offer Samuel a fresh start filled with hope and redemption. Samuel, touched by Emily's kindness and undeterred by the unknown, readily accepted her offer. He understood the gravity of the island's allure, the chance to leave behind his past and embrace a future filled with new possibilities. Together, Emily and Samuel set sail, the winds carrying them towards the island of transformation. As they approached, the island seemed to glow with an otherworldly radiance, as if it recognized their shared determination to forge a new path. With the monster acting as their guardian, they navigated through treacherous waters, trusting in the island's magic to guide them to shore. When their boat finally reached the safety of the island's embrace, Emily and Samuel stepped onto solid ground, ready to embrace their second chance at life. Word of Samuel's arrival on the island quickly spread, stirring hope and curiosity among the island's inhabitants. Each person saw their own struggle reflected in his.